So I got in the shop today and I was like, let's make some bar stools. Originally, I was going to make one bar stool, make sure everything worked well, and then film myself making the second one, but I was like, where's the fun in that? I've got a little sketch on a piece of paper, never made a bar stool before. We're just gonna go for it. I'm gonna bring you guys along for the ride. We got a bunch of oak right here, and I wanna try and make this completely out of oak. I want it to look really natural. This is all scrap wood that I got a giant pallet of. There's a video on the channel, I'll link it right here if you're interested in checking out that. But this is one of the projects that I want to tackle with all that scrap wood. I'm just kind of making this and designing this as I go. I think this chunky boy is going to be the back legs for both stools. I'll include a cut list in the description of this video if you want to try and make these. We're just going to start doing stuff. All right, here's the deal. We got all of our back legs for the two stools back here. These are gonna go taller, so it supports the backrest. Down here we have all of our stock cut up for the front legs. We're gonna cut this down to size in a second, but because I'm working with scrap wood, we're gonna have to laminate these legs. Not a huge fan of that. We're gonna have to laminate 3 of the 4 legs. Hopefully it doesn't look terrible. I debated if I was going to use Titebond 3 for this project. And you know what? I think I will. They're bar stools. They're going to be in the kitchen, most likely. So let's just go ahead and use the waterproof glue. It'll cost us like $2 extra, and it'll make sure those joints stay strong for the long haul. Right here I have 16 10-inch lengths. These are 1 3/4 by 3/4. I'm about to laminate these legs, or in other words, just glue them together. A quick trick that you can use to make the most of your clamps is clamp these all up at the same time. Just apply glue to this joint, and this joint. But you can throw them all together. It'll just make your clamping easier. This is the top of the back legs, and the backrest is not going to be at a perfect 90 to the seat. That would not be comfortable. So we're going to give it a little angle right here. And so I have this line marked off. It gives you details in the plans, but I'm just going to go over to my bandsaw and taper these tops off really, really quickly. What you didn't know is we are also making door stops. So save these. In all seriousness, I am going to save these because they are super handy when you are jointing slabs. These are the 2 seat blanks. Obviously, these boards aren't exactly the same thickness. That's okay. We're going to plane this down. I'm doing the same trick. I'm going to glue this all up at once using these Rockler feet clamps. These are really nice if you want to do multiple glue ups at the same time. Keep the glue ups level, and just for larger glue ups, these clamps are really, really great. I'll leave a link in the description. I'm leaving a piece of black walnut in the middle here because, knowing myself, I could just glue all of these up, clamp them together, and then I have to, you know, take it to the bandsaw or something. So this just reminds me, hey, don't glue the 2 seats together. Let's glue these seats up. Make sure you have plenty of squeeze out here. These will probably be your most visible joints on the whole stool. For the assembly of these bar stools, I'm gonna be using pocket holes. Pretty easy to do. I will say this, I'm using oak for these stools. And so if you were using oak or any other type of hardwood, make sure you get the fine thread pocket hole screws. You might think that doesn't make a difference. It makes a huge difference. If you try to use the coarse thread, like screws that you could use for pine or softer woods, you will split right through your workpiece. I'm also going very slowly as I install all of these pocket hole screws, just because I don't want to split the wood. I'm using 1, 2, 3 blocks to keep everything square, and then I'm also using a 24-inch bar clamp to hold all the pieces together. This will prevent the boards from pulling apart as I drive in the pocket hole screw. As always, all of these tools are linked down in the description. You can assemble these stools either way, but what I have done is put the two sides together first so that all I have to do is now come in and put all of the cross pieces together. With my measurements on these stools, you'll need to use the shorter impact driver so you can get your drill in between the two sides. For my stools, I'm putting the leg rest 6 inches up from the bottom of the leg, but you can do whatever you want on your stool. You might be wondering what we're going to do with these giant pocket holes. We're going to fix those in a later step, so just keep watching. Sweet. I'm just going to drill some screws straight into this lower support down here. You could pre-drill pocket holes in this support going up, but I actually like the way that these plugs look in the stool. I know that might sound kind of weird, but I just like them. So once we plug all those holes, I think it's going to look pretty neat. So that's why I just opted to do it that way. Make sure I don't drill all the way through the seat. I have my stop collar put way up on my Craig drill bit. And so this way I'm getting the same depth every single time, but I'm not gonna blow through the back of my seat. Craig makes these oak pocket hole plugs. I'll link these in the description. They have pine ones, which is great if you're just gonna paint over a project, but since I'm gonna leave the wood grain exposed and just use a clear finish, you want to make sure to pick up the oak. So links in the description, these are super handy. Since I'm using the full plug on these pocket holes, I'm applying a little bit of glue to cover up the cracks. On these pocket holes that are right below the seat, I'm not worried about putting plugs there. You absolutely can, but really unless the seat's turned upside down, no one's gonna see them. So I'm just leaving it as is, but I have these at the bottom plugged. Whenever you're routing and you're not sure if you should go this direction or this direction, just take your right hand and make a little finger gun with your index finger and thumb. Put your thumb over your workpiece, and whichever direction your index finger is pointing, that's the direction to run your router. I just want to show you a side-by-side of these two stools. The one on the left has not been routed yet. The one on the right has been. And the routing just makes a huge difference in making these stools look finished. That really looks good. I'm not doing any routing on the legs, but on all these high contact areas like the seat and the seat back, did some routing there. And I think it turned out really, really nicely. In a previous step, you saw me attach the seat back and seat. I had to actually remove those for routing and sanding. I just didn't think through that. But now I'm going to reattach them because they're already sanded and routed. And I'm going to add the plugs for covering the screw heads. If you have enjoyed this video, if you've learned something from this video, if you could hit the like button, it's a thumbs up button, it looks kind of like this, it's down below the screen. It would seriously mean the world to me. It just helps me bring you more helpful woodworking videos. All right, let's finish up these stools. For the finish on these stools, I'm using some Minwax polyurethane. I'm using the semi-gloss. I'll link this down in the description. I'm honestly not even sure if this is the best finish to use. If you have a suggestion on what finish I should use for furniture that's very high contact, let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching me make these bar stools. I hope you try to make these yourself. And if you have any questions, if I can help you in any way, make your own pair of bar stools, let me know in the comments. I do my best to answer all of those. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, maybe you even made these bar stools and you want some brand new coasters to go in your kitchen with these new stools, check out this video right here. I'll walk you through my process for how I make coasters, and I think it'll be really valuable for you. I'll see you in that video.